Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
Yesterday, we were talking quite a bit about the college football and the mess that college football is in. It's even messier at Ole Miss. This is the craziest thing ever. The quarterback at Ole Miss, you know who the coach is for Ole Miss, right? Lane Kiffin is the coach.
Yes.
He, formerly of Raiders fame, formerly of SC fame, formerly as Alabama fame, formerly as... He was transfer portaling it before the transfer portal was cool, Lane Kiffin. And now he's found his spot at Ole Miss as the head coach. The quarterback there, the former quarterback there, his name was Walker Howard. Still is Walker Howard. But he entered the transfer portal. Well, Walker Howard was like the number 6 prospect in the country when he came to Ole Miss from LSU. He went from LSU to Ole Miss. Now he is transferred to Louisiana Tech. He's from Louisiana.
Okay.
So it's a good land for Louisiana Tech, right? Because that's the number 6 quarterback in the country in the 2022 recruiting class. And he transferred from LSU in 2023 to Ole Miss, who's the quarterback there, and then so on. He's gone to Louisiana Tech. He, at some point, was dating Landry Kiffin. That is the daughter of Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
You date the coach's daughter? Is that something you do?
If she's hot, yeah. I mean, if she's hot enough. What's her name? Landry? Landre?
Landry Kiffin. He then decided he didn't want to date Landry anymore.
I really want to see her.
So then he broke up with her during this football season, and then all of a sudden decided, I'm going to enter the transfer portal. They're just leaving Dodge, right? I'm not playing for this chick's dad next year. Now, it sounds far-fetched because, would she really, or would he really bench him because he broke up with her? But Landry, added fuel to the notion. She said, sensationally, Landry Kiffin herself came across the post online that said he was going to enter the transfer portal. And she dropped a simple hands in the air, that person that's like, I don't know, emoji. So there's speculation as to what's going on with that. This is college is an extension of high school, right? We know that. But
yes.
College football is truly an extension of high school.
It is so weird. It's just like some made-for-TV Hallmark movie where the quarterback is dating the coach's daughter. It's just where does that happen?
And the name of the movie's got to be Transfer Portal. And then he goes to Louisiana Tech and he finds love from somebody who's not a coach's daughter.
Oh, really?
And she's a down home girl, and she talks him out of being a football player so he could go be a diesel mechanic on some interstate somewhere. See, I can write for the Hallmark Network.
You've got it nailed. And then Landry comes back and she's like, hey, remember this and remember that, and
I could bring you back into the sport.
Almost breaks him up. And then right at the end,
Dad says he wants you back, but you got to date me. And then he's like thinking about it. He's like, man, I love football, but I love this girl that's made me a diesel mechanic here at Louisiana.
Yeah, but it almost breaks him up, and the girl that made him a diesel mechanic gets her feelings hurt, and she goes away, and it looks like it's over, and then last minute they get back together happily ever after. There you go. That's a Hallmark movie, right? Don't forget, you can catch this thing on demand. We have a podcast, kzoz.com. You can download it there. Or if you listen to podcasts on, wherever your player is, Podbean, Apple, Spotify. What was the one I saw the other day? It was Pod Reliever. I mean, they have so many different platforms. Just search Jeff and Jeremy.
You asked me.
Comes up.
You asked me what it was the other day, and it came up, and I saw the name after you would ask me about it because it's just known as podcast player. It's called Castbox. Mine's called Castbox.
Oh, here's one called Overcast, and it's supposed to be better than any other player. I'm not sure why, but we're on that one too. Just search Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
You mentioned Spotify. This is why radio is awesome and Spotify sucks. Okay,
I don't know if anything sucks.
No, Spotify sucks.
Okay, so
radio's awesome because we do not play ghost artists. Do you know what a ghost artist is?
I don't.
Okay. Have you ever been? Do you use Spotify? You use Pandora. You're weird.
Well, you know
like
what?
Pandora.
Listen, I use a lot of stuff. I have a subscription to Sirius XM because that's where I get my smooth jazz and my yacht rock
and
my yacht.
Like to take
it's like
$8
a month.
Fire.
It's $8 a month. And when I
light $8 a month on fire,
and I spend a lot of time in the weekends in the mountains where there's no radio stations and there's no cell service.
Internet.
So then we can listen to music when we camp. But anyways, but I do listen to Pandora sometimes. Because you can put on channels, like I'll put on 38 Special channel. You'll get all the alternative and rock, like cool rock, like the more like poppy fun stuff from the 80s.
So Spotify is accused of supplementing playlists. And what happens is, so this, we do use, even though Spotify sucks and radio is better because we don't play ghost artists.
What is a ghost artist?
I will tell you what a ghost artist is here in a minute. We do have parties sometimes at our house where they're theme parties. And so 4th of July, we play patriotic music. Memorial Day, we only do all the patriotic ones.
Oh, you don't make people dress up. I have a friend that does theme parties. You have to dress up to whatever the theme is. Like he just did a Seinfeld party, and he's like, "You're not coming?" And I'm like, "It really looks like fun, but I just don't have that much energy to."
These are easy. You just wear a T-shirt with an American flag, and you're allowed in. Okay, I mean it's very easy. Or a tank top, or even a dress. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not you don't have to jump through a lot of hoops.
Well, I'm glad I got a tank top instead of a dress option. I don't think anybody wants to see me in a dress.
But sometimes we'll put on the playlist from the Spotify for 4th of July or Memorial Day or patriotic music or something like that. And then like the first 10 or 15 songs are perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden these weird songs get inserted in that you've never heard of these people whatsoever. And it's like, what the hell song is this? And then I got to go off of Spotify, or I got to close the app and then reopen it so I can get better songs again, because I start getting these songs that nobody's ever heard of.
And those are ghost artists?
These are the ghost artists. And they're now being accused of supplementing they put these ghost artists into the playlists because they call it perfect fit content. And perfect fit content is these songs. But these songs are by artists that are like either one, they're like, oh, we just want our music heard. We don't care if we get paid. So they don't have to pay royalties to artists that make songs that you know and like.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This increases the company's profits because they are able to slot these songs in on these playlists that you think are great. You think they're NBB for the first 10 songs. And then all of a sudden, like, think about it. Like, I don't know how many songs we play a morning. We probably play, 20 songs a morning? What if the first 10 were NBB, and then the next 10 were like, you had no idea singing the song. You never heard it again. You would stop listening.
You would tune out.
Right? But we're NBB from the window to the wall. Okay? We do it. We do it all. We fill it with NBB all the time. Spotify, with these ghost artists, they're like, oh no, I got to slow down. You can't pay out these artists too much money on the royalties. So let's get Tony's trio from Tennessee in here and to sing a bluegrass 4th of July, and then they'll slide it in, and you're like, what the hell song is this?
I don't worry. You don't have that problem on Pandora, and I don't pay for it either. I listen to the commercials.
Pandora sucks though, because you can't pick the songs. You just have to.
No, they pick them for you. It's great. It's great. You don't know what's coming up next. You're like, oh my God.
That's what they're doing.
Some days you're just like bangers, man. You're just like, one after the next.
So every time you hear a song on Pandora, you've never heard one of these ghost artists? Like
no, not on the channel.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of times on Fridays. If I'm driving to my buddy's place in the Friday afternoons, I'll listen to Sammy Kershaw channel. And you get Sammy.
Is it all Sammy Kershaw?
No. You get Sammy, you get Travis Tritt, you get artists you would like.
BTW, both those artists that you just mentioned are going to join Kid Rock and Nickelback on that tour this summer.
Sammy Kershaw?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going on that. I want to see Sammy Kershaw.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be incredible.
Some 80s Sammy Kershaw.
But it's small towns, so you have to like find out where they're going to be playing.
Oh, good.
But and travel probably.
That's fine.
To it.
That makes it fun. But I love going to a small town and supporting small businesses.
Yeah, I'd rather go to a small
hotel,
town and go see them in
spend
Madison
money in
Square
their
Garden.
Restaurants and bars. Yeah. I feel good about that when I leave. I go to a big city and I feel like I got bent over and rode hard.
You feel like you were given you were promised a PlayStation 5 and you walked out with a jersey.
Baby girl in the good.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ. Everything that rocks.
Earlier we were talking about the Charlotte Hornets when they did the old switcheroo on the kid with the PlayStation 5. They're like, hey, you've been such a good kid this year and your family's on hard times. Here's a PlayStation 5. The whole crowd goes, all right, Charlotte Hornets, we love you. Then when they get them off to the side of the court, they're like, hey, we're going to do that PlayStation 5 back. Here's your jersey, kid. The Phoenix Suns going in the total opposite direction. And this is so smart. This is so smart, especially with the economy being what it is. Like, I'm surprised all organizations don't do this, but there are cities where they could fill up, there's so much population in the city that you could fill up an entire arena with the worst team every single night. Like New York comes to mind. Like you could fill out Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game every single night because there's so many people that live within walking distance of Madison Square Garden. It's a little bit different in Phoenix because everything's so spread out. Matt Ishbia, he is the owner for the Phoenix Suns. He's decided to, after finding out that a family of four used to spend $98 on hot dogs. So this would be 4 hot dogs, 4 waters, and popcorn for 4. So I guess probably 2 large popcorns. $98 on that. He found that out, and then he's like, no. Each of those, we're lowering the price to $2 for each. So family of 4 can have that meal now. It's going to cost them $24. Popcorn, hot dogs, water. $24. He slashed prices by like 25%. I mean,
you're already paying so much to come to the game, right? You're paying so much.
Yeah.
And then you have merchandise you want to sell, right? You want to sell your Blazer merchandise. And then on top of that, we can't because we got to get a hot dog that costs $10.
They're the Suns, by the way. They're not the Trailblazers.
Oh, Trailblazers, Portland, sorry.
That's okay. NBA, nobody cares.
No,
nobody
I do care. I do care. I just...
do we really? I don't know.
I know that. I don't know why I said that. You know what? Honestly, you're right. I don't care. I don't watch it. I used to watch it, and now I don't, and I forgot where the teams are or what their mascots are. But good on this dude for doing that. Things have to change. They just have to. I mean, I know it's been a rough couple of years, but things are so expensive. And if you want to keep people coming out and, you know...
Isn't this what, like that makes me more prone to go to a game. If I live in the Phoenix Metroplex, that makes me more prone to go to a game. I'm like, okay, you know what? They're trying, and my family can go, and it's not going to totally break the bank if we want to get some concession items. And they sell them for $2 a piece, like $2 concession items. Are you kidding me? You can't find that anywhere. This is what like minor league baseball teams do, right? Minor league baseball teams, they don't have the populace to pull into their stadium. They're trying to make it a community event. So they come in they do fun things like even the Blues.
Theme nights and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they do the beer inning where you get like cheap beers until the inning's over. So everybody's up there buying as many cheap beers as they possibly can. And they're downing them. I'll take 3. Okay.
Carrying them back in their arms.
And like people are booing the Blues for getting it out. You're like, dude, what are you doing? Stop trying so hard. I'm trying to get beer.
Their kids are carrying beer. Here, come here. Allison, get over here. Carrying these back to your mom.
Just, if anybody asks you, just say you're taking them back to your mom, okay?
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.